in my view, this was always going to happen. The successful revolution of 2011 was largely carried out by rival militias with the help of the French and British air forces. But when NATO forces disappeared, then the heavily armed militias were given free rein to carve up the country as they wish. And sadly, the first and foremost victims of all this are ordinary Libyans who are being killed routinely.
But how come it's happened like this? Is the government not able to deal with things, or is it just that the problem is too big for them to deal with?
Well, clearly, this situation testifies to the weakness of the central government. In fact, there are no proper institutions such as an organized police or indeed an army force. And these institutions are made up of militias themselves who are affiliated to the government, but are in the end very loose organizations with a semi-official status, and they operate independently on occasions. So the difficulty is that they have nobody to answer to effectively, and one of the criticisms that's already emerging is that people are saying that in the end Gaddafi was the strong man who was all holding all this together.
But what do these militias want, and who are they? Why are they armed, for instance?
The reason why they're armed is they obviously in the midst of the revolution, they managed to get hold of some of Gaddafi's weapons. They looted Gaddafi's weapons during the revolution to carry out their revolution against him. And of course, they received help also in terms of ammunition from Western countries involved in the conflict, such as Britain and indeed France. And they, even throughout their revolution, they show the differences in what they wanted out of this their revolution, and what the common goal was. It was the fall of Gaddafi, but beyond that, they found it difficult to reconcile the differences. And of course, you have the eastern part of the country, which is oil-rich, which refuses to answer to the parliament in Tripoli, and this creates huge tensions between people who have deep differences.
Can you just address the question of what it is that they actually want? What are their political objectives?
I think at the end of the day, the vast majority of Libyans would like to see a political solution brought about, and that's why we're seeing increasingly Libyans demonstrating en masse to try to bring about a stable solution and a stable situation to the country. But they are also dealing with nasty elements who are Al-Qaeda affiliated, who were largely responsible for the overthrow of Colonel Gaddafi, and they would like to have a political say, and it is creating the situation we're at the moment.